Okay. We're not live yet.
Well, it says live now.
Does it?
Yep. We have one viewer.
Hope is alive and the future's bright. There's a Gleam podcast, a Cleveland Browns podcast. Let's get the Gleam together. Cold Lake wind and orange lights. Sunday fire, dog pound nights. We won the scars, we stood the test. Brown and orange across our chest. From the Muni Lock to the end zone line, this city's heart still beats in time. Through every loss and every dream, you can feel it rise. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam together. This is our time. Let's get the gleam together. Whoa. Let's get the Gleam together. This is our town.
And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of There's a Gleam podcast, a Cleveland Browns podcast. Today is Wednesday, May 27th, 2026, and it is 12:02. A little weird, John. I don't know if we had a little goof there. You said we were live.
It said we were live, but I'm not sure what was going on. So,
On my end, I usually get a little live thing. It didn't show it. So, sorry about that.
hopefully we're live now.
I think so. I hope so. But anyway, so besides that, how are you doing today? And how was your Memorial Day weekend?
Steve, I'm to quote Bon Jovi after the 16-month New Jersey tour. I'm just tired, Steve. I'm tired. I had a hell of a weekend. Let's see. Friday night, I watched the finale of Survivor because we recorded it. Saturday, I did a bunch of yard work in the yard. Sunday, more yard work. And then I also went to the Berea Rib Cook-Off and Beer Fest.
Wow.
Monday, we had a cookout with the kids. My Uncle Jim came over. And yesterday, I had a work, one of those work things. I had to do meetings, and then we went to dinner and all that stuff. So I've been going nonstop. And I've been, drinking every day. That's probably didn't help.
That is probably the biggest downfall to it.
Exactly. So other than that, I'm doing all right. I'm hoping I can get a little bit of juice from this show, and it just kicks off my day, and I can hammer out the rest of the week. How are you doing? How's your Memorial Day?
Memorial Day was nice. Was hoping to get the boat in, but that had some issues. Well, I got it fixed. Had some issues, which I was lucky last year. I didn't have a lot to do, just some waxing and underneath painting. But this year I had to get some outdrive work done, some engine work, had to buy a couple batteries. So now I'm going to attempt I wish I was more like you. I'm going to attempt for the first time to kind of sand the bottom of the boat. You got to put this antifungal paint on to help the bottom of the boat. And I had a bunch of blotches everywhere. I was looking for anybody and their mother, that one person to say, "Oh, don't worry, you'll be all right. It's mostly covered. Just drop it in the water." And
right,
Chris, my buddy Chris, Chris, he finally did, but that's just because he was going to be different. Everybody that knows anything about a boat, they're like, "Nah, you should do it." Yeah. So I'm going to try and do that this weekend. My hope is to get it in Friday or Saturday. So
cool.
Spent a lot of time up our club. We had a bunch of events. We had a couple bands playing. I forgot to tell you, the week before we had, remember our buddy from LotZoo and Tailgating days, Christian CDV?
Christian Del Vega?
Yep. I was in contact with him, and he actually came up to the boat club last Tuesday.
Really?
And yeah, talked to him about possibly doing a DJ at our club for a couple events. And so I'm like, well, before you do that, why don't you come up? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
On social media, come up, be a guest. We'll have some drinks, grab some food, show you around the place, and had a great time. He said to say hi.
Oh, good.
He's still doing his thing. Shout out to Christian. He does DJ down at the Jack Casino. Right now he's doing these Saturday gigs, I remember. And then he's all over the place. He's done stuff before KNR radio station stuff. I think he's done stuff down in by the Indian or Guardians and Cavs down there. So does a ton of stuff, but shout out to Christian. And yeah, it was good to see him. Good to catch up. He hasn't changed. He's still the same.
Yeah, I have not seen him in years. I hate to say it, but it may have been since my wedding.
Yeah, it was funny. We were saying something, and I'm like,
DJ my wedding. So
I was telling him, like, oh yeah, John's remarried and stuff. Telling him, I'm like, oh wait, you were the DJ, weren't you? He's like, yeah,
he was the DJ there. Yeah. He's a great guy.
He got a new haircut. That was kind of fun to see. He's got kind of a mohawk thing going on now.
Okay.
But he's had it for actually about 5 years, I think he said. So it's good to see him. But yeah, hung out down at the club. Had some dinners, had our neighbors down with us the one day, and then Monday we did a little cookout there. So, but no, all in all, it was a good memorial. They had a great, they do a flag raising ceremony and a whole Memorial Day thing at the club, which is really nice. Our Commodore Jeff had some really nice words talking about the past and whatnot. So it was a good day. But today is a big day. Today's a little bit of a bittersweet day for me.
Why?
I'll pop that up there.
Oh, your mom.
Yeah. Try not to cry today. Today is my mom's birthday, or would have been, however you want to look at it. She passed away back in 2020, so miss her every day. But I just want to give a shout out. Happy birthday, Mom. I miss you. I love you. Hope you're enjoying your day with all your animals. You know, she had about 20 of them.
Yeah.
And hopefully her grandchild, she's just having a good day. But thinking about her today, missing her, and that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. No, your mom was awesome.
Yeah,
she treated me like a son.
What's that?
She treated me like a son.
Woman had the biggest heart of anyone I've ever met in my life.
She did.
She would crack me up though. She put so much trust and faith in people. I remember one time she was up at she was at an East Side Painesville somewhere at like a convenience store, and didn't know these guys standing around, and she started talking about needing work around her house. And it's like, here's my address. Here's my phone number. She's telling me all about this. I'm like, what did you do? Who? It's like, well, he's really nice. She's like, I think they were Mexican guys. They were really nice. And they look like hard workers. And I'm like, why would you give I don't care what they are, but why would you give strangers your phone number and your address? You don't know anything about these guys.
Yeah.
And, but that's just how she was. So anyway, and we got a new thing you made. Thanks to you, we have our social medias, and it's a lot. I do like this. Looks so much nicer to look at. I
like it. I think ChatGPT did a great job.
Can you read all that?
I believe I can. On YouTube, subscribe on YouTube at There's a Gleam Podcast. On Facebook, follow us. There's a Gleam Podcast. On X, at Get the Gleam. Steve is at Hemi44, and I'm at Get the Gleam. John at Get the Gleam, actually. TikTok, I'm at John There's a Gleam. Steve is at There's a Gleam Podcast. And our website, there'sagleam.com. You can leave a voice message too if you want to spout off about anything. And then you can also catch us on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube podcasts. So that's where you can find the podcast later. I'll be uploading the podcast later today on Spotify.
Yeah, I love that. That's
Hey Steve, did you happen to look at the website lately at all? I got a little treat in there I didn't tell you about.
I did real quick to look at what the question was, but I went so fast that I missed something. I think I missed it, obviously.
You must have missed it. It was at the top. Mm-hmm. There's now you can buy a Get the Gleam mug or Get the Gleam t-shirts.
No way.
Yep. We have a shop set up. So if you want to get a mug, you can get a mug. You can get a t-shirt. I think I put a couple hats up there too.
I just saw that Gleam store. That is awesome.
Yeah. Figure I'd save that for a little surprise for you. Something I was working on.
How much am I reaping from that thing?
We get, I think we get like 50 cents a sale. So 25 cents each or something like that. So we sell a couple million, we'll be okay.
It beats what do you get? Like a penny for some of the things? 1 cent for every download or something. Oh, that's awesome. No, I did not. I scrolled so fast.
Yeah.
We both talked about it. Such a hectic week. I think maybe it'll be a shorter show today, but such a hectic week. I haven't looked at a ton, and I did not see that. I scrolled on there real quick to see one setting on there and totally blew by it. But as you were talking about, I clicked on it. It's right at the top, the Gleam store. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you want to get a mug or T-shirt or hat, go to the link is on the website. There's a gleam.com. So
awesome. Well, cool. I'm sure we'll be adding more as we get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's the plan.
There you go. All right. Well, on today's show, we got some stuff. It's actually we were talking prior to the show. It's kind of been a quiet week, which I guess is kind of a nice thing. But
well, it's like there's probably going to be a couple more quiet weeks. We've got Memorial Day just happened, and we have OTs are coming up.
Yep.
That's in June 9th, I believe, and then there'd probably be a little lull until training camp again. So we'll probably have a couple more. We'll probably branch out and do a little bit different things while the season is still kind of ramping up.
Yep. And I forgot, because it's the unofficial start to summer with the whole Memorial Day weekend, I went clean shaven. So yeah, I should be. You went back a while ago, I noticed. You had the beard going for a little bit, and a while now you've been clean shaven.
Yeah. You've got a great face for podcasting.
Wait, does podcasting mean only radio?
Not the live part, just the podcasting part.
I've gotten that quite often. So anyway, so today we got some Browns news. We got some camp battle. I know you want to talk about a couple roster moves. You touched about it briefly, some important dates, a little bit of AFC North news. Why do I get the feeling Rodgers is still going to be there? But we'll see. I know you want to talk some Hall of Fame stuff.
Yeah.
Some NFL news, a couple tight ends we want to talk about. Former Brown Njoku and Cleveland Heights native Travis Kelce. You are back doing the land this week, featuring the 27th annual Berea Rib Cook-Off and Beer Fest, too, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, you're right. It was a little baffling at the end of that where it says Beer Fest. I wasn't quite sure, and I'll talk about that later.
Awesome. And then we got Inside the Dog Pound. This week, we're featuring our free agent Fido of the week, Glenn Powell. And yes, he is named after the actor, for those that you follow, Glenn Powell. I know him in Top Gun Maverick, and I think the new Twister one. And you said something else, I think.
Well, he was in Whiplash, the drumming movie.
Okay.
Excellent movie, actually.
I got my 2-minute drill, and this one's we're going to talk maybe a little holidays for a little teaser, and we got some more. So why don't we get going, John, and why don't you start us off with some Browns news?
All right. So what is happening this week with the Browns? Kind of a quiet week. Steve, there's something, though, that's brewing in Berea, and I think we need to talk about it. It's really important, actually. It's who's going to play center for the Browns. Center is a huge position on the offensive line.
Yep.
Because you've got to call out the protections and the movements and
you hike the ball.
You got to hike the ball at the same time and get hit while you're hiking. It ain't an easy job. So,
not according to Tony Rizzo, it's not, because he was a center back in the day at Mid Park, I think it was.
120-pound center.
Yeah.
So, all right, we have Luke Wypler, right? Probably our safest option at center. We've drafted Parker Brailsford in the 5th round. He's undersized but athletic. Linderbaum for the Ravens was undersized, so that doesn't scare me because Monken worked with Linderbaum.
Right. Everybody says he's strong as all get out. He's throwing some ridiculous weight, 500-600 pounds or something crazy. His strength is just insane.
And then we have Elgton Jenkins, the veteran. He can play center, but they're probably going to play him at left guard.
I think that's the hope.
Yeah, that would be the hope. So I think really watching this, I think Parker Brailsford could come out of camp being the number one center on this team.
I know a lot of people talking about it, hearing about it before, are really high in this guy. Luke Wypler, I know we drafted him a few years back, and he's intriguing. I think, the injury hurt. And have you heard anything as far as injury wise, like where he's at?
No, I have not.
I haven't either. So,
it's kind of strange that this kept kind of kept under wraps, I guess.
Yeah. So,
they're expecting him to be there this year.
I think so. I didn't think I had never heard anything about that he would, was going to miss part of the season, I think. So, expecting back. There's things I liked about him. He showed some flashes. Brailsford is, like you said, he played it. First off, you play at Alabama, you're good. You're a good prospect. I'll take somebody plays at the SEC, Big Ten. Give me those guys all day. Like you said, we said his strength, the strength. He's quick. Elite quickness, I think, was one of the reports on him. I think the only weakness, like you said, was smallish frame. I'll take his strength and quickness, though. So I really want to see more of him. I think a lot of people are really anticipating him to become the starter or to battle for it. And I don't think too many people would be surprised if he ends up being a starter.
I would not be surprised. I don't think Wypler has the resume.
Yeah.
To just say he's locked in. And you have a guy like Brailsford's coming. I would not be shocked to see him, two rookies on this offensive line. Him and
Yeah. Yeah, because then you have Fano.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You don't want to have a lot of centers. All right, a lot of centers. You don't have a lot of centers. You don't have a lot of rookies. The lines, for me, that is going to be a huge question mark. You got 5 new faces in there. So, that's going to take them some time to gel, I think. I'm not going to discount Wypler because he is from Ohio State.
That's true.
So, yeah, I think it'll be a good battle. Hey, tough problem to have when you're trying to, when you got good talent, you're trying to see who comes out. So one of them hits, you're great shape.
Exactly. And I think either way, the other one's the backup and you're still in good shape.
Right. Who was, oh God, I knew I was going to forget his name.
What's that? Who?
He was just with us a few years back. He was drafted by us, but he always got hurt. They put him into packages sometimes. I want to say Nick something, but I feel like I'm wrong.
Nick Harris?
Yeah. I was high on him. And when he was able to play, I thought he was the heir apparent and we were set. And unfortunately, kid just couldn't stay healthy at all. And I know he came back once. What's that?
I really like Nick Harris a lot. It's kind of a bummer that.
Yeah. Yeah. I really thought he'd be the heir apparent. And
he's a free agent right now.
Where's that?
He's a free agent right now.
Yeah, I know he left. I don't know if it was Seattle or somewhere he went. And then
Washington. He was in Washington.
Washington. He came back to us. Remember, he did come back.
And Seattle. He was in Seattle.
Yeah. Okay. So interesting. So that's definitely something when camp starts. That's going to be one of the battles I'm definitely going to watch.
I think that's going to be a major behind quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be right there because it's so important of a position.
Yes, sir. A little bit of Browns news. So they actually did a signing. I saw this late last night. They signed it. I believe it was yesterday. They signed cornerback Tyron Herring, 6'1", 200 pounds. And officially it's his first NFL season. He's out of Delaware. He was originally signed by the Packers as an undrafted free agent in 2025. And he did spend some time on the Patriots and Packers practice squads. And the question everybody wants to know, at least for now, is as of right now, he's going to wear number 47.
Okay.
But we know how that could change.
That could change for sure.
And with doing that, they also waived cornerback DeCarlos Nicholson with an injury designation. I didn't see what that injury was, but so he was waived. So thought that was interesting. Not a lot going on at that time. I did see a couple things on social media, which I found kind of cool. They had some dynamic duos on the Browns roster through some of the camps they've had and some relationships starting to form. So I thought that we'd have a little fun with that, but there's 2 dynamic duos that stood out. You want to take any guesses what maybe one of them?
Who do you got?
The first one was the 2 rookie receivers. There's a picture of them, Denzel Boston and Casey Concepcion.
Okay.
Which is a given.
Yeah.
And I have seen some, granted, they're wearing shorts, no pads, 7-on-7, but I like me some Denzel Boston.
I like me some Casey Concepcion.
I do too. When he catches the ball, it's been pretty good. But
not to interrupt you, but real quick story. I don't think I told you this. I had a dream that Casey Concepcion caught a huge pass for the Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm.
That was my dream. I don't know if it was a Super Bowl. I don't know if it was a playoff game.
You woke up.
Yeah, I woke up after, but I think KC Concepcion is going to do something historical for the Cleveland Browns in the next couple of years. It'll be a play. It'll be a play just that people will remember forever. That's what the dream was. It was like, oh my God, KC Concepcion just did that to like win the game or what? It was something just amazing that he did. So
clip that. I'm going to hold you to it. I'm going to put down season 1, episode 15. John's expecting something historic from KC Concepcion.
I am.
Comes true. Hey, from your lips to God's ears, right? I hope it does.
Right. So Quincy Williams and Carson Swessinger was the other dynamic duo.
Yep, those are the other two. And I've seen some of the interviews with our local media and stuff with Quincy Williams. I got to admit, he's starting to become a favorite of mine. Man's very engaging. He's funny. He's having fun with the media. He's answering stuff. I'm really starting to like this guy. I can't wait to see these two on the field together. So I'm excited to see what they do.
I really think the Browns have done a great job of getting guys on this team that are very likable. And as a fan, that's very important. We've got to be able to connect with these guys as fans. And for a while there, we couldn't. There wasn't anybody. I mean, you had some linemen, you know, like the Joe Thomas time when they had Batonio even, but for so many years, like it was like, who do you have? Like Johnny Manziel? Like there weren't guys that were.
Yeah, like, I mean, someone said there's still one on our roster that's not likable, but
that is true. There is one,
but we'll see.
One more year.
Yes, sir. And then the other thing, real quick, you kind of talked about it briefly, but one of the things was that some important dates coming up here. OTAs continue again on June 2nd, running through the 5th. And then after that, the next thing I saw was mandatory veteran minicamp. And that's interesting. That's our June 9th through the 11th. And with that one, the keyword is mandatory. They can be fined for not showing up. So
the keywords for that is Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
So, will he be there? Because Todd Monken hasn't talked to him.
I do. What do you think about that? Would it make that nobody's talked to him, or has the defensive coordinator even talked to him? I know Monken said he hasn't at all. It's a little weird, no?
I feel like it's a little strange. And I know a lot of people say, well, don't worry, Myles Garrett, see quarterback, get quarterback. That's all you need to. But I think it goes deeper than that.
I mean, I don't think he's bitter still that, you know, Schwartz wasn't retained or whatever. Maybe he did. I mean, I know he doesn't ever go to the voluntary stuff in the beginning and whatnot. Like you said, he shows up on Sundays, but, you know, I saw something was made too out of Mason Graham. You got this young lineman and, you know, trying to learn behind like a Myles Garrett, but he's not around or whatever. I'm like, there's something to it, but then the play on the field, I'd rather have better play on the field, I guess. So I don't know. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. But
I'm not going to make a big deal about it, but he is a captain and he's going to be a Hall of Famer. So this goes back to the whole Myles Garrett thing where, I don't know, you just wish you would just step up a little bit more. Kind of like the way we wish David Njoku would have just showed up a little bit more. We wish that Myles Garrett would just step up a little bit more in that leadership. But you know, some guys lead in different ways.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's go to our next segment, the AFC North. We're still kind of fine-tuning this one. AFC North Intel, know your enemy. I know you got a few things here. I thought you took an interesting angle. You're Hall of Famers, but I'm going to let you talk about this potentially.
Yeah, so there was an article that I read about the next Hall of Famers to come from each NFL team. So I took the ones for the AFC North division. So I want to hear what you think about these guys and I guess the legitimacy of this story, if you feel that you agree with it or you disagree. Got a comment. Oh, Rob Jacobs. Yeah, like on the field pushing through double teams. Yeah, Rob, I know. He does that too.
Shout out to Rob, Navy buddy. Welcome back and congratulations, I think.
And Rob, I know he gets held too, but I just want more from Myles Garrett. I just want him to be a leader a little bit more. So, all right. And AFC North. So for the Baltimore Ravens, NFL.com saying it's basically a coin flip between Terrell Suggs and Marshall Yanda. Suggs has the edge thanks to Defensive Player of the Year award, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and 2 Super Bowl rings. Yanda, meanwhile, is viewed as one of the best guards of his era. Who do you think? I think Terrell Suggs, personally.
Yeah, when I think of, I'll be honest, I'm not too familiar with the linemen.
Yeah.
He's in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken, for sacks. So, I'm going to say Terrell Suggs is probably, for the things you just mentioned. In fact, he's top 10. I think he was probably regarded during his time as one of the best. Was he an end or a linebacker, technically?
I think he played both.
Okay. Yeah. What about you? What do you think?
I think Suggs. I think, and like you said, Yanda, I don't know a lot. I know who he is. I just never, I don't really focus in on linemen.
Right.
So
that's fair.
Then we have the Cincinnati Bengals, Willie Anderson, the tackle.
Yeah.
He's trending upward after becoming an automatic finalist for the 2027 Hall of Fame class.
Yeah. He was one of the best guards for his time. I think he probably will make it.
Yeah. Then the Cleveland Browns obviously have Myles Garrett, that he'll be the next one from Cleveland. Yeah. I agree with that.
No brainer for that one.
And then for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they have Ben Roethlisberger. And I was trying to think who else from Pittsburgh, because they have some good teams, but I don't see anybody else really. I think Ben is the next one.
I mean, Antonio Brown will never see it, right?
No, he won't.
Jerome Bettis get in?
I believe so. Yes, he did get in.
You probably have to go more on the
defense or line, side. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking defense, but I mean, Roethlisberger's top 10. I want to say 7th, 8th, something like that. I know he's in the top 10 for passing yards, which is it skewed a little because, NFL is more of a passing league now than back in the day to a point, but right. I mean, take nothing away to play that amount of time. He holds a lot of stats. Roethlisberger's going to get in. I don't think there's any doubt. After that, God, I'm trying to think. Receiver wise, Hines Ward, is he a pro? But do you think of him as a Hall of Famer?
I don't think. I love Hines Ward, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, no, there's.
But
I think there's guys that got in that don't necessarily deserve it. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's kind of mediocre, but I don't know. Yeah, Roethlisberger, I would say probably has to be the next one, right?
That's what I think. I think so too. Because I'm trying to think the lineman, what's his name? He's like 37 years old.
For who?
Pittsburgh. He's not even retired yet.
Hayward?
Yeah. He's not, so he's got a couple more years. Yeah, so I think Big Ben.
Yeah. I think
I'm sorry, what's that?
Yeah. I think he's probably the next one to get in.
Well, a little bit of Bengals news. They have declined defensive end Miles Murphy's 5th-year option. Miles Murphy said there's no hard feelings. That option would have guaranteed Murphy about $14 million for 2027. But since they decided to keep long-term flexibility instead. So I guess they've added a couple players this year with Dexter Lawrence, Boye Mafe, and Jonathan Allen.
But is that really surprising considering how they were with Trey Hendrickson?
No, they don't really open the check much.
that was not really much of a surprise after that. So,
I did see something. This was a little while ago. It was the franchises with the most money, or not the franchise with the most money, the owners of franchises that have the most money.
Mm-hmm.
The Baltimore Ravens owner was up there. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, and Haslam. But then you slide down to like the 20s, and that's where the Bengals are with the Brown family, and the Steelers are a little bit above them with the Rooney family. But they're pretty much football families, it seems, where a lot of other owners made their billions and other things.
Yep. So
that's probably part of the reason why, since they just don't throw money around.
No.
And Steve, my final little, I think we're going to be happy to put this one to rest.
I hope.
Aaron Rodgers. We can finally stop talking about it. He said this will be his last season. This is it. No more after this year. And we're not going to have to talk about it on this segment anymore either, because he's signed with the Steelers. He's got one more year.
Good.
Steve, do you think he's going to last the whole year? Is he going to play the whole season?
One of his strengths has always been he gets rid of the ball quick. And Browns fans, obviously, we saw that in the last game. That was more just because he didn't want to get the record. But I mean, he's always had a quick release. Yeah, I hate to say it. The guy does take care of himself, doesn't usually take unnecessary shots. So, I hope he does, because that just means the quarterbacks that are there aren't getting any action. That's another year. But then again, them sitting another year might be a good thing. We talked about this before. I'm like, is it good or is it bad for like Will Howard or Drew Aller if they end up being one of the guys that they're not on the field, or they are learning from arguably one of the best of at least this generation or decades? So I guess time will tell, but I think he will hold up. What about you?
I think he's going to get hurt.
Do you?
I really do. I seeing him run last year, it wasn't pretty. And if he gets flushed at all, I could see something happening. Yeah. He's old. I don't think he keeps himself as in great shape as Tom Brady does, even though he's in good shape. He's getting up there.
I don't know of anybody that does that. I mean,
Tom Brady was a fanatic.
Yeah, the stories of him, from what he ate to everything, is just insane. So Rodgers is 42. He'll be 43 in December. So yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna get hit that much in the pocket, because, like you said, he gets rid of it. But if he takes a little chance here or there, I could see something.
Yeah. Rob says next year, 2027 Hall of Fame odds: Gronkowski minus 2,500, Peterson minus 1,500, Roethlisberger plus 140.
Ooh, interesting.
I could see that.
We need Rob to be our Vegas bookie guy.
He's supposed to come on the show. I'm still trying to get him to come on and join us here. He's an avid football. Him and his whole family are avid Browns fans.
Yeah.
So knows a lot. And if you're looking if we want to have a gambling segment, him and KB are the two. I can't think of two better people to have on than those two. So we're going to get him on here sooner or later.
We will.
And I'm hoping we do a boys trip. We've been talking about doing a boys trip. We talked about Vegas for some concerts here or there. We mentioned going out to Arizona for the Guardians spring training, which that would be awesome. I still have that. That's kind of a bucket list thing for me to go out to spring training one time. But they are playing. KB, our buddy, has his favorite team's Tampa Bay. He's from South Carolina. And the Browns are playing in Tampa this year. I was just hoping it would have been later in the year where it's cold here and warm there. But
it doesn't matter, Steve. We can't. Well, why? So we could go?
So we could get out and just go hang in some sunny.
Somewhere warm.
Drink beers and stay on the beach and then go watch a game and our old buddy Baker and see if we get a victory. So, and just hang out with the fellas. We haven't done a guys trip since our days of Put in Bay guys trips, fishing trip.
Yeah, fishing. Well, Steve, I think it's time for a wet jet pressure washing sponsor read.
I guess we should do that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if your house is looking rough after Northeast Ohio winter, you already know wet jet pressure washing is the move. They're based in Paynesville Township and cover all of Northeast Ohio, and these guys do it all: house washing, roof cleaning, gutters, concrete sealing, deck restoration, even commercial fleet cleaning. If it's dirty, they're coming for it. They've been doing this since 2001, 25 years of experience, fully insured, bonded, and using top-of-the-line equipment with eco-friendly cleaning solutions. This isn't a guy with a hose, it's the pros. And here's where you win, Steve. Mention there's a Gleam podcast, and you get $75 off their spring cleaning package. That's a full house wash and exterior windows. If your place needs a reset after winter, this is the call to make. So do yourself a favor, call Scott and the team at 440-283-WASH. That's 440-283-9274, or hit them up at wetjetpressurewashing.com. Wet Jet Pressure Washing, clean that stands out. Let's get the Gleam back.
Love it. You're getting pretty good at that.
You like that? I feel like Ken Carmen. You know what time it is?
What time is it?
Time for the Gleam meter, Steve. I actually didn't do a Gleam meter this week. I was so busy, I didn't get one.
Okay,
So
that's all right.
I let the show down.
You know what? It's a slow time. Like we said, we really struggle with some stuff. So no Gleam meter this week. Excuse me. We'll be back next week, but we're gonna throw it out there now. We were kind of talking a little bit. I think, John, next week's Gleam meter, you think we're gonna do which one? Which direction?
I'm kind of thinking Todd Monken. How do the Browns fans feel about Todd Monken?
Okay.
I don't know, Steve. Do we break that down by do we think he's going to last 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year? Or do we go, we think Todd Monken's going to win, 16 games, 10 games, 4 games? What's a Gleam meter going to look like for Todd Monken?
I don't know. I wasn't prepared for that. You blew my
mind. I know.
mind.
Well, sometimes I like putting you on the spot.
Yeah. I like the first option, I think.
How long he'll be coaching for in Cleveland?
Well, you know what? Since it's the first year, do we want to say?
Let's go with how many games you think Todd Monken will win.
Yeah, let's go with that. First year, we'll see what, So that's reasonable. All right, so that'll be next week's Gleam. This one is our land segment, and this one's a good one. You're back with this, and what do we got for this week, John?
I'm actually glad we have a couple extra minutes today so I could talk about this. No, the whole story from beginning to end is so strange. It is strange in a way. Everything about it is just kind of wild. So Aaron and I decided to go to the 27th annual Berea Rib Cook-Off and Beer Fest.
Okay.
So I was doing yard work around the house on Sunday. Got to be around 3-4 o'clock. It looked like it might rain. So we thought, we better get up to the rib cook-off before it gets too late or we get hammered with another storm.
Yes.
So we drove over there. As you know, Berea Fairgrounds, free parking. Don't have to worry about paying for parking. So got there. Lot was kind of empty, Steve. I ain't gonna lie.
Really?
A ton of cars there. No.
It was kind of weird because I know by us that was Sunday.
Yeah.
See, Sunday they were calling, I thought, was it Sunday? No, I'm sorry, it was Monday. Monday they were calling for rain 5 to 9, and we never really got it. We got a little bit of some rain here on the east side, but not what they were saying. So
I feel like the weather was all over the place this weekend, and you couldn't really get on what your app on your phone was saying.
Right.
So we get their pair, $10 cash to get in. Oh, that was. Did I do that or did you do that?
I did that. I thought it was a photo. I was going to pop it up. I didn't realize it was a video, so I will hold off.
That's okay. I thought I had my hand on my computer. I thought I did it. So this is the thing. So I'm going to kind of tell you my feelings about it. So we're walking, and as you enter the fairgrounds, you got to walk a long road all the way down to the back of the fairgrounds. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, Steve. If you've been there before. Yeah. You pass the barns and some of the buildings that they have for the fair arts and crafts. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as you get to where it opens up in the middle, down the road, it's all just vendors, Steve. And I thought I was at the Home and Garden show again.
Yeah.
I'm getting hit up for win this raffle, get some gutters, get waterproofing. And I just okay. So I'm walking by all these stands, and then we get to the rib area. And that's this, Steve, where you have the movie here. I'll play it right there. So this is kind of what it looked like. Where the main vendors were. There's probably 6 vendors in that area or so. And then there was an outside loop, and in the back is where the band was at. The band actually, Casey and Company, I will say, played some great music. I was down with Casey and Company.
Okay.
They're playing
classic Company. Was it
classic rock?
Oh, okay. I was thinking Casey and the Sunshine Band for a second. That type of, was that 70s music?
Casey and Sunshine Band.
Yeah. No, but they're
Casey and Company.
Okay.
But Casey, I think Casey was the singer because she could sing.
Okay.
So, it started to lightly drizzle a little bit. And here's the thing, Steve. I didn't know what ribs to get. So I figured I'm going to go with a rib that I probably have no shot of ever getting again. Oops.
That was another video. I thought it was a picture.
Yeah, I just they're all videos.
Okay, I'm gonna stop that. I was gonna pop up your rib picture.
So I ended up choosing. It was called Porky Chicks from Fayetteville, Arkansas. So I figured I'm never going to go down to Porky Chicks. So I'm going to get the one that's furthest away, because there were some places that were, local, Medina, things like that. So I got my rib, Steve. Here's my rib reveal. I'm going to show you.
Okay.
So it's a full slab of ribs along with the side. I didn't take the picture of the sides. I got baked beans, cornbread. I got a side of collard greens, and I thought there was some other side too. I don't recall. But anyways, so I got that. And honestly, Steve, I was not thrilled with the ribs. Now I'm a Kansas City Barbecue Society ex-judge. I'm no longer practicing.
Right. You do have the credentials. I was gonna say, I can tell with your tone of your voice how you're going to. I had the feeling you weren't going to be thrilled with these.
So all right. Full disclosure, some ribs, the bite was perfect. Came off the bone, excellent. And then I had other ribs, Steve, that were just tough. Yeah. I couldn't get off the bone. I wasn't happy with it. But, you go to these things knowing you're going to spend some money, and sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss. This one was a little bit of a miss. The chicken was good.
Okay.
Aaron got the baked chicken or the smoked chicken. That was actually really good, better than the ribs.
Right.
So
I guess beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I know, because of your background, I didn't know this until you told me years back, but everybody, you always hear, fall off the bone ribs. And
yeah, I
guess, if you're eating, I mean, how many people are judging ribs? But in the judging world, competition world, that's a bad thing. You want a little bit of
ribs falling off.
You want a slight pull to it, which you taught me. So
and they had a couple of the ribs had the pull, and then other ones were just so tough I couldn't even eat them. Actually,
I'd rather it fall off the bone than be tough. Nothing worse than a tough or fatty rib. So okay.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though, Steve.
What's that?
Yesterday, I go to the Berea
Beer Fest
National Rib Cook-Off website.
Yeah.
First place winner, Porky Chicks from Fayetteville, Arkansas. I'm like, what? How did this? Now I do know from being a barbecue judge before in the past, the teams will put out their best ribs to give to the judges.
Oh, sure.
So, I think what I had was a far cry from what the judges.
Yeah, think about it. How many people are at that thing they're trying to feed? You're going to have some stuff here or there, I would assume. So either that or I was going to go with, now I know why you're not a judge anymore, but
right.
I'll go to, they are feeding a lot of people.
They weren't feeding that many, Steve.
No. Yeah, that's been kind of disappointing, as those have kind of gone down. Even Willoughby does their rib burn off, and that's not, they do okay. Well, the one used to be downtown there. Was that?
Yeah, they don't have that anymore. Behind Tower City, they used to have one. And they had one in Mall C also.
Yeah, so they don't do a lot of those. So, it might be a slowly dying thing there.
It was just, Steve, honestly, it felt sad.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could describe it. And I don't know if it was the rain. I don't know if it was all the vendors trying to sell me gutters. I don't know if it was the bad ribs.
That seems like so many things are doing that, though. We went to the Geauga County Fair a few years back. And like you said, there's a whole section of just all kinds of, there's a couple areas of people just selling stuff. And I'm like, really?
So I don't know. Here's my thing, Steve, because we like tailgating. We like festivals like that. We like food. If you're going to have a rib cook-off like that, why not bring in some rib themed or meat themed vendors also? People that make their own rubs, people that sell grills, specialty items, things like that. It was just I felt like it was the IX Center home show and a couple little tchotchke stands selling, dipping dots.
Because all these places nowadays are about getting sponsors, Who's going to sponsor our show? Although
Who's going to sponsor?
Right. It's all about sponsorships. And yes, we are guilty of it, but at least, well, I will say our products are, one of them we have used and the other one fits with our Inside the Dog Pound. So there's relations to it and it fits what we're doing. So, but I agree. Some of it doesn't make sense.
I will say one last tidbit on this. I actually have two last points and then I'm done.
Okay.
One, I don't know where they got the name National Rib Cook-Off and Beer Fest because I maybe I missed it, but I didn't see anything about beer there at all. Like, I don't know what the Beer Fest was. It was kind of strange. Last point, I'm going to be going to the Parma Rib Cook-Off. They've got one, I think it's next week or the week after, and 44th annual Parma Rib Cook-Off. And I think, from what I'm hearing, this is the place to go.
Where's the, on a total side note, where's the thing you're going with Scott on a Friday to see the one guy play? Did you already do that or is that coming up?
Yeah, we did that. We went to Sol Gold Lounge on Snow Road.
Was that this past Friday?
No, it was like 3 weeks ago. It was the last day. No, it was longer than that. It was right before Easter weekend. It was Good Friday.
God, the hell was I don't remember you talking about it. So I don't know if it was any good then or.
No, it was. I had work and I didn't get up there till at 10:30. And Dickie was there. Tursk was there.
Okay.
Patty, and then when I walked in, he was playing "Living on a Prayer" actually. So I knew it was the right time to walk into.
That was fitting. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, there you go with that segment. So overall, would you go again next year if it was back, or are you kind of done with it?
I'm kind of done with that. I'll move on to something else.
Well, I'm curious to see. You said you're going to go to that Parma. When is that again? Next week?
I think it's like June 7th. So
okay.
Like 2 weeks, maybe.
I'll be curious to see how that one fares. Maybe a little better than being because Willoughby, actually, you went a few years back to Willoughby. That's when you wanted me to go, but I just had surgery because was it Firehouse or
Firehouse played. Firehouse and Great White.
Yeah, was playing for that. So
now that was fun. That was actually really good rib cook.
Well, that one's so
cook-offs or burn-offs, whatever.
Yeah, no, they actually do a solid job. It's more compact too. I mean, downtown Willoughby's not that. It's what couple.
Well, that kind of made it cool because it had all the bars there, and
I would agree.
Like the vibe just felt off. The Berea Fairgrounds felt too big for what was going on.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So. All right. Well, there you go with the land segment. If you can, those 4 things remove out of the studio, that'd be great. And then you're going to do our Inside the Dog Pound. But before we do that, I will pop up one more sponsor, Reed. It's funny we talk about sponsors. Actually, before we do that, the funny thing was you were talking ribs. So I bought ribs at Costco, some baby back. Ooh. And you know me, I procrastinate with a lot of stuff. I bought this. I had, 10 days or something. Well, they said either use or freeze by May 26th, which was yesterday. I'm like, well, I don't really want to freeze ribs. And now I'm at the last day that they say to eat them by. So last night after we had dinner at about 6:30 or so, I threw baby back ribs in the oven.
Oh,
I made baby back. I did the old style. I did a dry. What's that?
I said, yeah, that's how you do it. Just put them in the oven.
Yeah, I did a Kansas City rub. So a little bit of a sweetness to it. Wrapped them in foil and did them for 2.5 hours at 275. And I'll admit they're overcooked. As soon as I went to pick them up, they were falling apart. But again, if you're eating them, it's probably not a bad thing. But the flavor was on point. The taste, I'm like, man, these are money. So later today, I'm gonna bring them out, warm them up, maybe throw them on the grill with some barbecue sauce. So I'm gonna have that later. But yeah, I did poorly planned on my part. Anyway, on that note, got our other sponsor here, which is Poo Poo. Love them.
Poo Poo we do.
Yes, sir. And Poo Poo. All right, dog owners, this one's again for you. And with our partnership with Euclid Pet Pal. So if you're thinking about adopting a dog or you already have one, nobody told you how fast that part of it adds up. That's where Poo Poo We Do comes in. They're a pet waste removal service based out of Painesville Township. They cover all of Lake County, and they handle the job that nobody wants. They offer weekly, monthly, or even one-time cleanups, especially after a long Northeast Ohio winter, which, all right, we're getting out of that now. The wet. I hate the wet. let's be honest, everyone loves the dog, but nobody likes racing up outside to get that cleanup. So services start as low as $15 for one dog, which is pretty much a no-brainer if you value your time and your shoes. They've been doing it for over 4 years, and they keep it simple. You call, they show up, they clean up, and done. So if you're bringing home a dog from Euclid Pet Pals or just tired of dealing with it yourself, this is the move. Call 440-941-9798 for a free quote and let them know you heard about them on There's a Gleam podcast. Poo-poo we do, you handle the fun part, they handle the dirty work. Let's get the Gleam back.
All right. Well, it is time then for free agent Fido of the week.
Yes,
And
this is a good one.
Like Steve said, this week's dog is Glenn Powell, not to be mistaken with the actor. This 4-year-old American Staffordshire Terrier mix has officially entered free agency and is looking for a forever contract extension with the right family. At 40 to 55 pounds, Glenn brings serious AFC North toughness with a sneaky franchise player upside. Glenn was found out there running solo routes all alone, scared, confused, no tags, no chip, and heartbreakingly, nobody came looking for him. But Browns fans know one thing: never count out an underdog. Yesterday was Glenn's first day at a Richmond daycare, and reports from training camp are very positive. Great in the crate, friendly with the staff, settling into the system quickly, and showing off flashes of personality already. Now, listen, Steve, I'm thinking about looking at you, thinking about the dog. Glenn may start a little shy at first, but if you give this dog a little time to settle into the offense, you'll quickly see the real Glenn emerge. Behind that quiet start is an absolute locker room guy, goofy, lovable, loyal, and always ready for a good time. This doggy enjoys the finer things in life: cheeseburgers, car rides, adoption events where he can work the crowd. Scouts are also reporting positive interest in other dogs, and he doesn't seem to mind cats either, making him a versatile addition to almost any roster.
That's always big.
What's that?
That's always big with these dogs for that. Some of them, they got to be the only animal. So I think those are huge points.
It is, especially if you have a cat already.
Yeah.
Or another dog. This dog is ready for someone to believe in him again and give him the forever home he deserves. This dog deserves more than shelter life. He deserves a couch to claim like the end zone. He deserves a family cheering him on every Sunday, and he deserves a forever home. He's neutered, vaccinated, microchipped, and ready to report to training camp or OTAs immediately. Let's help Glenn Powell finally hear his name called by his forever family and his find his place in the dog pound. So
I love that picture of him sitting on the chair.
What's that?
I love that picture there of him sitting on the chair. He looks like a happy fella.
I love his ear. Is his ear always bent like that? Because
I don't know, but Kirby, our one dog Kirby, he used to have that with one of his ears would always be bent like that, and we loved it. They say in American, what was it? American Staffordshire mix.
Yeah.
Sometimes the German Shepherds, because Kirby, I think, had a little German Shepherd in him, and his ear would do that. And like you said, actually, Deb just commented, cute ears.
Yeah, it is cute.
But yeah, no, it looks like a great dog. And on that note, too, our friends over at Euclid Pet Pals and the Euclid Animal Shelters, they have a thing on their Facebook page, but they're asking for some help. They need canned dog food for Euclid Pet Pals. Your donation helps feed local dogs in need. So if you can, they're currently running low on canned food for the shelter. Most needed item right now, they say, is Pedigree Choice Cuts canned dog food. Many of the dogs rely on canned food mixed into their meals to help encourage them to eat, especially stressed, sick, senior, or picky dogs, or prickly. Donations can be dropped off at the shelter during their open hours or left safely at the front door if they're closed. But every single can helps feed a hungry shelter dog. So clip that, and if you can help them out, they would appreciate it. And
that's
they
right.
are located.
You can find them at euclidpetpals.net.
Yes, sir.
On Facebook, also Euclid Pet Pals. TikTok, they're on at Euclid Pet Pals. And the shelter is located at 25100 Lakeland Boulevard in Euclid. and their phone number is 216-289-2057. And they're always looking for volunteers above the age of 14.
There you go. All righty, John. You got a little bit of NFL news, a couple of things we wanted to touch base on.
Yeah, I got a couple little things here I pulled out. One that'd be kind of interesting to Browns fans is David Njoku.
Mm-hmm.
He's fired up about joining the Chargers.
Well, yeah, he'd be shirtless and not have to freeze his ass off anymore before games warming up. I'd be too.
He said Los Angeles can be destructive on offense with the talent that they have with Justin Herbert, Njoku, Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson, Najee Harris, and Rashawn Slater. So he said they have the tools, the keys, and the players to do it all. How do you feel about the Chargers this year? Is this kind of like make it, break it time for Justin Herbert?
I mean, I think they've been close, and now with the addition of Mike McDaniels, which everybody thinks is an offensive guru, which I guess he kind of is. It really is. I mean, people have been expecting him to break out, take them further, and they've always had some collapses there, kind of epic collapses too. So I really do think it is with the weapons he's got around him. It's put up or shut up in my mind. What do you think?
How many years has he been in the league now? Like 6? Will this be like his 6th year or something like that?
He's with Tua and stuff. Has it been 6?
It feels like it's been 5, 6 years maybe.
All I know is I'm getting older.
Yeah.
And what I think is like 2 years ago, my wife kindly points out, that was 8 years. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, I thought that was he was in the 19 draft. So, or was it the 19?
So 6, 7 years.
Or in the 2000, he played in 19, so 2020 draft it would have been. So I believe that's when it was. 1920 is where I'm thinking. So
that makes sense. 5, 6 years, somewhere around.
Yeah.
There.
I said to this day, I always thought that Miami was nuts for passing on him over Tua. I was never a big Tua fan, but I'm also not a big lefty fan, if I'm being honest. So
we are not big lefty fans at all.
That's the Paul McDonald effect. As
a
Browns fan, you know who that is.
There was a bad injury with the Giants' defensive line. Roy Robertson Harris tore his Achilles during OTAs. He's expected to miss the whole season. Now, Steve, remember they lost Dexter Lawrence.
Yep.
In that big trade to the Bengals, and they were really going to rely heavily on Roy Robertson Harris, and now he's done. They've got DJ Reader, Shelby Harris. Remember Shelby Harris?
Yeah.
Darius Alexander and rookie Bobby Jameson Travis.
Okay.
So
it's a bit of a blow there.
Blow. Yeah.
Ouch. Okay. And there's some other tight end news here that was just made the other day. Travis Kelce, Kansas City Chief tight end and Cleveland Heights native. Travis Kelce is buying a minority stake in your Cleveland Guardians.
That's cool.
He had they interviewed him. I read everything. I'm going to kind of just clip a couple things. Basically, in a nutshell, he said I have so much love for this city. I credit every good thing in my life to Cleveland. John, I wonder if that includes his engagement to Taylor Swift.
He is a lucky man.
Are you a Swiftie?
I am.
There you go. Well, you got the girls too.
I grew up with 2 girls. Of course, I played Taylor Swift the last 15 years.
That is true. Your girls do love her. But before he was recruited, I thought this was a little interesting. I kind of knew a little bit, but not to this extent. So before he was recruited by the University of Cincinnati to play football, he was actually one of the best baseball players in the Cleveland metro area. And in his senior season in 2008, he hit .588 with 6 home runs. 2 years later, he played summer baseball as an ultra physical outfielder with speed, power, and a strong throwing arm. And he always thought that he played every sport growing up, but baseball was actually the only one that he said he had early interest from scouts. So he really thought it was a viable option for him. And then the football thing chose him at the end of the day, and he ended up going to football, which I guess we all could say he probably made the right choice. But Kelce joins the latest active professional athlete to acquire an equity stake in an MLB team. I didn't know this. I found this interesting. There were other current athletes who have become minority investors in baseball teams include LeBron James with this one I didn't get, Boston Red Sox, Giannis from the Milwaukee Brewers. I ain't saying his last name because I can never say it. He's with the Brewers, which makes sense. He plays in Milwaukee. Cade Cunningham, the Detroit Pistons guard who we just faced. He's part owner, minority owner in the Texas Rangers. And Kelsey's chief running mate, Patrick Mahomes, which just makes sense because his dad was a baseball player. Was he a pitcher, I believe? Mahomes?
Yeah.
And this was back in, what's that?
Was it with the Royals?
I wanted to say Rangers, but you might be right. Or Blue Jays or something.
Blue Jays. I know the uniform was blue.
I was just going to say, I remember a blue uniform.
I remember the card.
I remember back in 20, he became minority owner with the Kansas City Royals. Again, makes sense. You play in Kansas City. So I don't get the LeBron and Boston thing at all, but okay. So anyway, a little bit of interesting news. We just heard, well, we had before, Myles Garrett owns part of the Cavs minority. And then we had the news last week about the Browns selling minority ownership. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. That's all. Is that all our NFL news that we got?
That's all the NFL news.
All right. Well, moving forward, it is, we'll wrap this up. So it's my 2-minute segment.
Oh, yeah.
I think I may like these. So, all right. Again, this segment's supposed to be about rapid fire takes on, it could be Cleveland sports, culture, basically whatever's driving me crazy today or going on. And for a second, I didn't think I was going to have some with it being so busy and hectic of a week. But then something creeped up on me, John. And then I really started thinking about it for the last few days. And so somebody explained this to me.
Okay.
When did all these national days start? Such as National Sons Day, National Daughters Day. You know what those days are? It's their birthdays. You have, I'm going to blow your mind with some of this. If you have all these flat out weird ones, from food related to weird stuff, National Talk Like a Pirate Day, National No Sock Day, National Eat What You Want Day, National Pizza Day. What's that?
Where'd you find all these? Like, how do you know these days are happening?
Because I always see, if you're on social media, something always pops up, and that's what I mean. Something popped up. I think it was just pizza party thing or something stupid, but I see stuff all the time pop up, and usually they don't catch me. But this last week, a few of them jumped up, and I'm like, what? You know, they're just so stupid. You know, you want to talk like a pirate, like Steve from Dodgeball, then do it. You don't want to wear socks today? Don't wear them. You don't want to, you want to eat what you want today? Newsflash, eat what you want. I almost backtracked a little on the pizza day, but you know what? Again, with that, you want to eat pizza, eat it. You don't need a day for that. And this was cool because I had to look this up before the show, or I did it before. But just so you want to know, if you're wondering, is there anything for today, May 27th?
Yeah.
I bet your ass there is. You got National Sunscreen Day, National Flip-Flop Day, and National Grape Popsicle Day. So have at it, people. Hope somebody's having a popsicle watching us or applying that sunscreen on the beach while they're watching or listening to us. But it's ridiculous. Ready for a mind-blowing stat?
Yeah.
Did you know, John, there are now reportedly over 1,500 National Day observances in the U.S. calendar, meaning many of these days have 5 to some up to as many 20 different celebrations happening at once.
I'm kind of taken aback by how many there are. I don't know why we need that many.
Well, I thought back in the day it was always all, you had American Greetings, remember the card company? So they popped out this day and that day to sell more cards, but now it's just insane. There's a national day for National Pet Adoption Day. Now, some of them I get there. I guess there's a decent meaning, but some of these are just outright National Grape Popsicle Day. Really? These made up national days, in my opinion, they're just out of hand, should not be recognized. And you know what? Mostly they're stupid. So I said what I said. Let me know what you think and clip that.
I don't understand why it has to be so specific, like National Grape Popsicle. Can't just be Popsicle Day. I don't know.
It
is a little crazy. Now that you bring that up, it is a little weird.
I mean, a lot of it's food. National Donut Day, National this, or National Bosses Day. But then you just see some of these outright stupid. National No Wear Socks today. National the pirate thing. I'm like, really? Are you kidding me? Just some of it is just so freaking stupid. And I'm guilty. I remember my wife and I, National Sons Day or National Daughter-in-Law Day. You get on Facebook, you post something, you post a little happy. Oh, I love my son so much. I'm so proud of the man he's become. He posts a bunch of pictures, and I started thinking about it more. And I'm like, you know what? National Sons Day, it's his freaking birthday. Kid's not getting 2 days just for him. Nope, you get one. You get your birthday. Is it National Sons Day, the birthday? You got a son, you got 2 daughters. National Daughters Day, John.
Yeah.
Are you celebrating that, or are you celebrating?
No, I don't even know it exists.
Well, it does, and there's a daughter-in-law, so don't forget them. And I'm sure there's a son-in-law. So anyway, that's my beef this week. I these unofficial, and they're not government, whatever, not backed, but sponsored.
You're all flustered now. You're all heated up.
I guarantee you go on stuff. So especially social media, Facebook, you're gonna see every day. I bet you're gonna see somebody pop up something about, oh, happy National this day with a picture of whatever it is. So good luck with that. Get that out of your head.
National Air Horn Day.
I always forget to play that. I put that up there. Awesome. So, all right, my friend, let's wind down. I thought it was going to be a quick show, but we're slightly over. And you got some tailgating.
Yeah, I got a little bit of tailgating for everybody today because, we enjoy tailgating here at There's a Gleam.
You almost said LotZoo, didn't you?
What's that?
You almost said LotZoo, didn't you?
I almost did say LotZoo. Sponsored by LotZoo, the tailgating epicenter. So, Steve, the 10 unwritten rules of tailgating.
Okay.
Made 10 up here.
What are you got?
Rule number 1, never show up empty-handed. Bring something. Bring beer, bring ice, chips, even a bag of chips. You got to bring something. Rule number 1. Rule number 2, respect the grill master. I know you and I have both been working the grills before tailgate. Oh, yeah. And that is a thankless job, especially when it's hot out and you're on that grill and you're cooking dogs and burgers and brats.
Everybody's having fun, drinking, dancing to the music,
playing cornhole, and there you are just slaving over. So,
especially early on when it's 80-something degrees and you're in front of that grill and you're dripping with sweat.
Yep. So, respect the grill master. Give them a beer. Like, take them a beer once in a while, or even a water, because that's a tough job to do when you're, especially when you get a big group of people.
Mm-hmm.
If someone offers you food, Steve, especially if you're at someone else, the tailgate, if someone offers you food, you just take it. You don't ask questions. You don't say, I'm not hungry. It's a tailgate. You just take it, you eat it, and you tell them it was great. Because it's tailgate food. Who cares? I'm sure it was great. Doesn't matter. Just eat it. So I say, someone offers you something, just take it. Oh,
I would agree.
And this is you. This one made me think of you.
Okay.
The RV guy is automatically the mayor of the parking lot. When we had Jamal, our RV that you bought, and we would take it down to the Browns games, you were the mayor. You told people who could come in, who couldn't come in. If you knew them, if you didn't know them, you had the generator, you got the music, you got everything. So you were the mayor, Steve.
I didn't feel like the mayor back then, though. We let everybody in, I think.
We did.
That's the kind of guys we are. You want to come have fun, tailgate. You got some beer.
There were guys that would charge people for using their porta potty and stuff.
Yeah, well, I could see it after what we witnessed and how big ours got, and then random people. I'll never forget. I forget who it was now. Dang it. I don't know if it was Myers or somebody. Deb, when she tailgated with one of us, there'd be a line sometimes for the RV to go to the bathroom.
Right.
And the one time Deb went in there and she was waiting in line with everybody. And one of our regulars that our main group saw that and they're like, this is Deb. This is the owner's wife. You go right to the front of the line.
Yeah.
So I forget who it was, but God bless him for that. So anyway, I'm sorry to steal.
That's all right. The earlier you arrive, the more respect you get.
Yes.
So you get there early, you set up everything, you do get respect from everybody come like, hey man, thanks for setting up and bringing it,
100% agree with that.
If you show up late though, Steve, don't complain about parking.
Yep.
And you know what time it was, you know what time you had to be down there. And then you're acting like you get there at 11:45 for a 1 o'clock game. And then you wonder why people are giving you the bird and getting pissed when they got to move their cornhole boards and their chairs and their
tables. Love those guys, huh?
You will get booed in the muni lot for pulling in late. I've seen it.
Oh yeah, we've seen that firsthand.
Rival fans are fine until they start acting stupid. So this rule is if you're going to a tailgate somewhere and you are the rival team, don't be a dick.
Right.
You know, you're just there to have a good time. Some people take it too far. There's always fun trash talking. We've had people from different teams join our tailgates. No reason to go nuts like a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Right. Now, most of them, by and large, that we've come across have always been pretty respectful. Look like us. They just want to have some fun.
Exactly.
They're coming to check out our stadium, see their team play. As long as you're respectful and don't sit there and be a jerk and start getting drunk and really flaunt stuff or start talking crazy stuff, then you're asking for it. But okay, I agree.
Yeah, you even remember your friends from Green Bay came to our tailgate.
Yeah.
Well, you just hang out with people, man. It's not that it's football. It's not real life. It's not that serious.
Eric, our buddy over Eric at the Top Dog tailgate, he always welcomes a bunch of people, and he's had pretty good success. He's teamed up with them. I know Nats tailgating, another big group. They've done stuff with letting other teams come in and they go to places. So yeah, at the end, you're meant to have fun, right? Have some fun, sit, tailgate. Your team wins, great. Talk a little trash, but you don't have to be assholes about it.
Exactly. Here's this one drives me nuts about the Muni lot, Steve. Use a trash can, not the gun. God, the Muni lot looks like
that was a war zone pulling out.
Yeah.
I literally, every time we left, I was horrified. I'm like, please don't get a flat. Please don't get a flat. Broken glass, broken this. I'm like, oh my God, please just get me out of here. Please, please. That was the one nice thing when we switched over for a period of time over at Burke.
Mm-hmm.
The place was spotless. You could go up and down the aisles after a tailgate, not worry about anything. They kept it clean. Muni lot's just a war zone.
It really is. It's a mess.
Yeah, it is.
Here's one. Don't mooch off. This is rule number 9. Don't mooch off other people's coolers. Well, you can. You get the permission, but don't just go reaching in other people's coolers.
Yeah.
Because I've been on the short end of that stick. All of a sudden, I thought I had some beers left, and all of a sudden, I didn't.
Yeah, there is that fine line. You forget something, say something. Oh, yeah, you want a beer? Have them, but don't go and have 5 of them when now I got nothing left. Or, no, that's a good one. So far, I like all these.
And then the last one, rule number 10, respect the tailgaters around you. Everybody's there just to have a good time. Don't blast your music too loud. Don't act like you own all 3 parking spots. There's sometimes going to be kids around. Don't be dropping the F-bomb. Have a little bit of class. And then tailgating works because everybody shares a lot. That's what it's about, and having a good time. So that's my 10 unwritten rules of tailgating, Steve, and I will save a spot for you.
I like them. Those are good. Yeah, no, I like that. They're all solid. Can't argue with any 10 of those. Respect to tailgaters. We've been on both sides. I remember who was the one group? I forget. Remember we were at Burke back in the back there where we had the land and they had a generator problem.
Oh yeah.
And we're like, we don't have that big of stuff. Take ours. And they had a huge spread of food, and it goes to one of your other rules. Like, here, come over, use our generator. Here's a wristband.
And that was Nats. That was Nats tailgating.
Was that Nats? Oh, I think you are right. That's right. And they gave us a thing, and they used our generator. People popped over before they've hit us. Hey, by chance, do you have any extra this? And we've been guilty. I forget what it was. We didn't have something.
Right.
I'm like, do you by chance? And that's what it's all about. Have fun. Respect each other. And I like that. Those were solid. Good. I really like those. Good job.
All right. Good.
All right. Well, let's wind this up. I love when we always think it's going to be a short show, and it's not. But want to thank you for joining us today. Pop that up. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the comments. Rob, especially. You were pretty active, buddy. And so glad you're back from the Navy or back from your sea duty.
Rob.
Good for me. Good for everybody.
I'd like to thank our sponsors, Wet Jet Pressure Washing and Poo Poo We Do. Check them out. We have their info us on our Facebook page and our new social media. There it is again. If you're watching, check out. I'm not going to read them all. You know where we're at by now, I hope. And the website, there's a gleam.com. Next week, John, you said that's going to be the Todd Monken. We're going to do how many wins?
Yeah, we'll do Todd Monken. Wins this year for Todd Monken.
There we go. All right. John, anything else you want to add?
I think I've said enough today, Steve.
That you have. That's a good time. Good time. I just want to give a quick shout to my mom. Happy birthday, Mom. Miss you. Love you. And on that note, thank you all for joining us. Have a great week. Go Browns. And remember what Coach Marty would say.
Gleam, man. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam. All right, let's go.
All right. Have a great week, everybody. And don't forget, go Browns.